All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have finally clicked on something that's going to change your life. If you're watching this video, that means you are someone who wants to change your life to become the best version possible, and I'm happy that you are here. What I want you to do is to have a notepad ready and have the time to watch this video in its entirety. Because if you apply what I speak to you about in this video, your life will change. Your 2026 will be different from your 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and so on. Your life is about to change. I'm super excited. Let's get into this video. All right, so welcome to a video that might be the reason your life finally changed. All right, so I know most people are going to not be able to stick through, but if you can stick through and apply everything I'm going to teach you in this video, your life will change, as has mine, right? So I want to get straight into it, but first we want to say who I am. My name is Theodore Liseg. If you did not know me, welcome. So who I am. So first thing first, I'm not here as a guru or someone who figured out life out early, okay? I'm here as a man who learned what happens when you avoid responsibility for your potential, okay? I wasn't born with discipline. I became disciplined because the alternative failed me. Okay, so if you look at the picture on my left right here, these two people are the same people. Yes, that is correct. These two people are the same people. I need you guys to understand that because once you understand this, like you can be this guy right here on the left and become. You don't have to be me, but you can be your own version of who you want to be, right? So let's go to the next one, right? So the problem. I always knew I was capable of more, but my actions didn't match. Okay. So instead of fully committing, I escaped through alcohol, distraction, validation. So you see right here, it was just, I knew I could be this guy here, right? But all I did was seek validation. I kept on seeking alcohol, seeking things that did not serve me, right? Big ambition, weak execution. That's the gap that destroys men. I feel like a lot of us fall into line with that, especially with the whole world of have fun in your 20s and everything like that, especially when you're young, right? We want to just have fun, we want to party, we want to live up our youth, right? But if you can make a little bit of sacrifice, it will be worth it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, okay? All right. So obviously there were consequences, right? At this point, I was at the top of my game. So if you look right here, I was at the top of my game, right? I was at the top of my game. I was partying, having a good time. Obviously, my physique was starting to suffer a little bit. Okay. But there is consequences to your actions, okay? And it may not show up today, it may not show up tomorrow, but it does come, right? So yes. Okay. So I went from living it up to sleeping on my friend's spare bedroom. I was broke, ashamed, and if you see right here this truck, I went from making 20,000 right here. Look at this right here. I was making $20,000, right? Credit card debt was going through the roof because I was just avoiding everything, right? Avoidance is not the way. It all creeps up eventually, okay? So I was making $20,000 a month and then 40,000, and now because of all the drinking, because of all the partying, because of all the things that goes against everything you want to be, I lost it all. So went with my confidence, my identity, everything. I felt to shambles. I felt to risk, right? I had a $1,450 car payment on this truck right here, and I had nothing to show for it. That's when the illusion died. I no longer was this guy right here, living it up, partying it up. Now I show some terrible photos. I could show some better pictures for partying, but for the purpose of this for this video, I don't want to, make it look too crazy because you might think it's actually fun. It is fun, but let's make it look a little bad. Okay. So avoidance always collects interest and eventually it comes to due. So then what happened, right? So if you look right here, these are the same people. Like I'm saying, they're the same people. This is me, right? That was a turning point. After I was making $20,000. Now I am poor. My mindset is complete trash. I have no confidence in myself. My self identity was broken. I lost who I was. I was no longer him. I was no longer the person who can do what he put his mind to. I had literally self-destructed myself. I know a lot of people are going through that right now, and just know that just because you may have been great and then you've lost yourself, with the whole society drifting and everything like that, does not mean that you are bound to be that way forever. It's only temporary if we make it temporary. The only decision you can do is stop, and that will become permanent. So right there, that was the turning point. I stopped negotiating with myself. I committed fully and had the best month of my life, not from luck. You understand? Not from luck, from alignment. I had aligned myself back to who I was. What made theory theory, right? What made me me? What inspired me to become the man I wanted to be? What did that for me, right? So right here. So why does this matter, right? I'm still building, all right? But I don't escape anymore. I don't negate all of the responsibilities I have, the bills. I never negate the bills, but the credit card debts, the drinking, all the stuff that was going against my vision, right? Because once you have a little taste of success, it's really easy to fall into the trap of uh partying and the lifestyle and everything like that. But boom, it comes, right? But right now, I'm not finished. I'm still chasing my vision. But now, because obviously now I live with structure, discipline, and responsibility. And that's why I built this life change framework to help men rebuild their lives from the inside out. Okay? So we're gonna go to the life change framework, okay? Let's get to it. So I wanted to speed it up real quick. I just want to introduce myself a little bit just so you can see that somebody has gone through it. And I have a lot more to tell you guys. Like, this is not the only there's so much more, right? There's a lot to unpack. Obviously, I don't want to give you guys a whole sorrow and worry about me. Oh, poor you, poor you. Everyone has bad things they've been through. Everyone has demons, right? So what we have to do, okay? Okay, so what we have to do, right? Before we can change anything, we must first need to get clear on where we are at. Okay. Most people try to change without understanding exactly what they need to work on. We need to identify the areas of your life where you're feeling stuck, frustrated, and unfulfilled. This is where the real work begins. And I want to harp on that again. This is where the real work begins. Once you understand what is going on in your life, all right? So I have these three questions here. And then I put right here, pause to reflect for a reason. Because you might skip this, right? Because you think, what? I don't want to answer this, right? But you have to, right? So number one, where do you feel unfulfilled in your life? I give you some examples. Is it your career, your relationships, your health, your finances? Is it the person you're looking in the mirror? Do you feel unfulfilled with that person? Okay, but you want to break it down by categories in your life. That way you can try to make it make sense. Okay. Number two, what parts of your life feel out of alignment with your true potential? You know, some people have never even thought about this. Do you feel you're not giving your best at work? Are you ignoring your health? These are important questions you must ask yourself if you want to understand what is missing, okay? Where do you feel stuck or overwhelmed? What areas of your life do you keep pulling off and why? Like, I say pulling off, putting off and why? You understand? Like, I know things that you need to be working on, but you're just avoiding it because you feel like I'll get to it later. I'm telling you right now, like you saw, I'll get to the credit cards later. I'll get to all this later. And then I was on top of the world. I was on top of the world. I don't think you understand this. I was on top of the world, right? Pretty young age, making $20,000 a month. I was on top of the world. And guess what? I let the party, let everything, and I just ignored everything because I was just living my life, right? So you gotta take some time to pause. You have to most people can't even sit quiet these days. You understand? Most people do not sit quiet. So take the pause to reflect. Take a moment and write these down. If you're just watching, hit pause, really think about I put this here because I want to make sure that I emphasize these, right? Take a moment to write these down, these areas, right? If you're watching, hit pause and really think about it. This will set the foundation for the rest of this process. Once you identify this gap, this is going to set what needs to be changed, okay? So if you're watching right now, pause the video, take notes, write these three questions down, answer them in detail. This is the very important key part that we need to make sure you understand. Answer it in detail, okay? My camera's up here, but my loom is right there. Okay. But answer it in detail. It's very important that you answer it with truth and honesty as well, because you will find out when you answer these questions, you will try to be as broad as possible. You will try to be as vague. You don't want to answer it because it feels uncomfortable. But until you start being comfortable with being uncomfortable, you will never be where you want to be. Okay? So hopefully you have paused this video and hopefully you had answered these questions. If not, make sure it's in your notebook, okay? Because I'm telling you from experience, right? This right here is is the base of what's coming next, okay? So step two. Oh, excuse me. So I'm putting everything in this instruction here because what I want to do is I want to take this document right here and actually just put it in the PDF so that way you guys can just download it and just answer the questions on your own. Right? But step two. All right. So step two. Something's wrong. Okay. There's a little hiccup. Okay. So now that we know where you are, right? Now that you've answered all these questions and everything like that, it's time to define where you want to go. This is very important. The key to real change is not just setting the goals, it's becoming the person that who achieves the goals. Okay. You cannot be the same person as today and expect different results. The person you want to become must have different habits, beliefs, and behaviors. You understand me? Different habits, beliefs, and behaviors. So let's take a look. In this section, you're going to write down who you want to become. Okay. This is more than just saying I want to be successful. Like I'm telling you before, like I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I need you to be specific. I need you to be specific. Okay. Ask yourself, who do you want to become? What does this version of you look like in terms of health, wealth, relationships, and mindset? And what's the key trait this person has that you're currently lacking? You have to take a second and actually do a full audit of yourself and see what is it that you do not have right now. Because what I'm going to tell you is that anything that you see someone has, you can get that, right? Okay? It may take you a little bit longer. It takes you some practice, but you can get that, okay? So, who do you want to become? The ideal version of yourself. What are the habits? Do they show up every day? Do they value things? What kind of person, what kind of man, woman, what is it, whoever it is, what does this person choose to do when no one is watching? Hmm? This is very important because if you are not doing this stuff right here, I'm telling you, I have done this and it has changed my life completely. Okay. You have to, now for number two, what does this version of you look like in terms of health, wealth, mindset, relationships? Those are good stuff. So I need you to imagine yourself in the best shape of your life. Imagine yourself having financial freedom. Imagine yourself with your relationships that are fulfilling and you feel peace at with yourself. Imagine yourself being that person. Imagine yourself living in that body, that mind, that soul. Imagine. Imagine all the things you're capable of. If you can see it in your mind, it can be in reality. I'm telling you. Okay? I know it sounds crazy to just imagine, imagine, imagine. But I need you to see this vision. What a man thinketh. I'm about to go crazy. Let me slow down. What you think you become. That is the secret to most of these things. What you think is what you become. What you think about most is what you become. If you think yourself as a failure, you will be a failure. If you think as yourself as somebody who cannot who can't complete something, you will be that. I used to say, I never complete anything. I just say, I never do this. I never do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. That's gone. I just say, I can't wake up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. But guess what? Every day I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning going to the gym. That's just what I do. Because I know the man that I wanted to become, I'm still not even him. I'm still chasing him, right? The man I wanted to become, he did those things. The man I wanted to become didn't talk about excuses. I want to go to bed right now, but instead of making this video because I know what this video can do to make your life better if you actually apply yourself. Okay? And this is no guru jargon. Let me put this headphones in because if you do what's in this video, if you follow these steps, I know it sounds like some woo-woo therapy bullshit. I don't know. But all I know is it works. It works. Okay? So go ahead, jot this doc down. But I'm really gonna after the video, I'm gonna put it in the PDF because I feel like most of you guys are gonna slack. I just know it because it's by default, on average, most people are going to be average, and most average people are not going to do this exercise. They're not going to take this seriously. They're not going to want to push yourself to become the best version of themselves because they are average. And I don't want you to be the average person. Okay, I'm looking at you. I do not want you to be the average person. I'm telling you, you can live a life that you want to live if you apply yourself. If you do what's happening here, you don't have to be super successful, but you can be successful in life. What is success? Success is being in the place that you chose to be, being the person that you chose to be, doing the things that you chose to do. If you wanted the job, you're successful. But if you're in a job that you don't want to be in, then you're not successful. You don't have to make $1 million to be successful. You don't have to make six figures to be successful. Being a mother, if you wanted to be a mother and you became a mother, you are a success because that was what you wanted. Okay? So don't be getting caught up in all this foolishness. Okay? So I need you to set non-negotiables. Okay? This is very important. This is very important. The person you're becoming has non-negotiables. Okay? These are the habits and actions that this person does every day without fail. To change your life, you need to decide what your non-negotiables are. These are the things you commit to no matter what. This is very important. Very important because we need this stuff on repeat. You know how many times it takes for you to get things through your head? A lot. Okay, so I wrote down some examples of non-negotiables, right? Exercise every morning, even if it's just 20-minute walk or a quick workout. Okay. Work on my business every single day. It doesn't matter if you have a business or not. Okay, just pretend. Work on, I don't know, crafts, arts and crafts, whatever you gotta do. You already know what you gotta do. Okay. Most people know what to do. They just don't do. Okay. Eat healthy. No junk food or alcohol during the week. You don't have to do these. These are just examples, okay? Don't get crazy on me. Spend quality time with my partner every evening. No distractions. Put the phone away. Read or listen to educational content for at least 30 minutes. You'd be surprised what you learned if you actually went and opened a book. You'd be surprised what you will learn if you actually went on YouTube to actually use it for what it's for as an educational search engine optimization tool. Yeah. So write down your non-negotiables. What is it in your life that you want that can propel your life forward if you did them every single day, right? These habits will form your identity, one way or the other, right? Either the bad habits or the good habits. So they're non-negotiable because they define the new version of yourself, okay? So I want you to see it as not you, the you want to be, okay? So let's go to step 4. We got to build an actionable plan because thoughts without actions, you're just dreaming. Thoughts without action, just dreaming. I look busted right now because it's time for me to go to bed. But I just had this on my mind and I wanted to get it out to you guys. It's only 5 steps. It's only 5 steps. Make sure you guys can hear me. It's only five steps. If you can't do 5 steps, you can't change your life. This is 5 steps, I'm telling you. And it's so easy to be above average. It is so easy to become someone better. I am telling you. But you don't have to listen to me. You can see it through other people. Ask them what they're doing. Ask your friend. Don't take advice from people you don't want to be like. I'll tell you that right now. Look, damn, I look busted. Anyways, so this is build the actual plan, okay? Now that you know who you want to be and what habits you need to build, it's time to create an action plan. This is where you get tactical. You need to map out exactly how you're going to make your new identity real. Okay? This is where the rubber meets the road. You gotta break down the goals into actionable steps. If your goal's too big, right? Let's say you want to make $20,000 a month. If you just put $20,000 a month with no actionable steps on how you're gonna get there, of course you're not gonna get there, right? You're just dreaming, okay? Fugazi, it's just a facade, you know? So these are the concrete tasks you need to do every day to become the person you're striving to be. Every single day, I know. Every single day. Stop negotiating with yourself. Remember that. Stop negotiating with yourself. A lot of people are not going to make it this far, but you made it this far. You want to stick it out. Get to step five. Okay. Actionable action plan breakdown, right? So I have daily, weekly, monthly, right? What do you need to do every single day to get closer to your goals? It could be simple. Write 5,000 words of content. I don't know. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a reader. Maybe you need to read 10 pages of the book. Follow with clients, create a morning routine, daily things, right? It's the small things that count. It's the compounding effect of the small thing over time. Small things over time will pay. Remember, the interest occurs. It incurs bad and it incurs good. So the interest will occur. Which one are you going to do? Right? Next, we have weekly. What actions need to happen each week to keep momentum? All right. These can be small actions, okay? Or big actions, I don't know, whichever. It Do not think too hard into this, right? It's simple. Take whatever your goal is and reverse engineer it and figure out what do you need to do, okay? Don't complicate these things. That's why I only put 5 steps. I could have put 15 steps to better life. Have you guys going crazy. But for example, I put attending a network event, reviewing your financing, meeting with your mentor, right? I always advise everyone to have somebody that they look up to, that they trust, to confide in, right? Because you can get so far alone, but you get much farther with other people, okay? And with people who's doing better than you and people who you want to be like. So, next one I want you to have is monthly. What larger milestones do you need to hit every month to stay on track? Do you need to complete a fitness challenge, launch a new offer, hit a revenue target? Figure this out. Everything you can think your way into Chick-fil-A line, right? Oh, I don't know how I got here. You can think all this stuff, but you can't figure out how to reverse what your goal is. It's kind of crazy, huh? You can think how to put batteries into the remote and turn TV on, but no, you can't. You can't take 5 seconds to figure out your life. I'm not trying to be rude. I always tell people who know me, I tell them every time, I'm not the friend you want, but I am the friend you need. And I will happily be an asshole. I will happily be, uh, you're so blunt. I don't care. The only thing I care about is making other people's lives better. The only thing I care about is making sure that you leave every time you have a conversation with me, you leave with a piece of knowledge from me. Every time every time I speak with somebody, I want them to always leave and be like, that guy knows his stuff. Hmm. Wh- how do you know that? Every time. They're always saying, how do you know that? You want to know how I know that? Because I've been through it. Literally, I've been through so much. But that's okay. It's not a trauma war, okay? But okay. Anyways, so take some time to map out your action plan in the doc. Be specific. This is your blueprint for the next 12 weeks. Now, this is a 12-week plan. After 12 weeks, right? After 12 weeks, you're gonna be a new person. Now, some people can get there faster, but I I want you to remember what got you there in the beginning. What happens is some people start to see the progress, they start to see the journey happening, and they start to, ease off the pedal. Oh, I don't need to read no more. Oh, I don't need to, do my content. Oh, I don't need to talk to 5 people today. Oh, because my pipeline's full now. Okay. But like I said, compounding effect is a hmm, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. All right, step number 5. If you made this far, I want to say congrats. I want to say kudos. I want to say you are a champ. I want to say you want to change your life for the best. I want to say that you are on the right path. You are on the right path. You have a vision for your life that you want to acquire. So congratulations. Because most people will not get to this step number 5. Most people would have skipped off the video the minute first second of the video. Oh, what is this guy talking about? Who is he? I don't care. Bye. There's no steps. Yeah, yeah. Because everyone went things so fast. 12 weeks. 12 weeks is all you need. 12 weeks. Shoot, you can do it freaking hmm, 4. Yeah, 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 yeah. 12 weeks. 90 days. All you need to change your life. Now, this is number 5. It's very important, okay? It's very important because this stuff matters. Everything matters. This is your life. You only get one of them. Only one. And if you do not choose, if you do not pay attention, years blink, years blink. And next thing you know, you're in the same dead-end job that you hate. You're in the same apartment that you freaking can't stand the wallpaper. I don't even know if people have wallpaper in these places, but you're gonna be in the same position as you were last year. Did you know that? I'm not trying to go off on a tangent, but did you know that most people relive the same 6 months over and over and over? Most people even leave their hometown. Did you know there's a world out there? There's a world, yet you live in same 5 kilometers, same 10 miles. I don't know. But let's get to number 5 because I know this is what you guys are waiting for. Obviously, you guys see the questions I was talking. So I want you to understand this. Change doesn't happen overnight, and progress doesn't always look linear. That's why it's essential to track your progress and adjust your plan as needed. You might get smarter faster. Don't keep doing the same dumb shit that you were doing earlier, okay? You can amp it up. You can also slow it down, okay? You'll have setbacks. That's normal. What's important is how you respond to them. How do you stand against time? There'll be times where it feels like it's not working. There'll be times where it feels like nothing is happening. But I'm telling you, compound effect is real. Anyways, so now we're going to create a system to track your progress, okay? You'll check in weekly, right? Evaluate your success and areas for improvement. You can have a buddy do this. You can hire a coach to do this. I do offer online coaching, but I don't need you to pay me if you think you can do this by yourself, okay? This is meant for you to do on your own, okay? As much as I love to plug myself in and be like, hire me, I need you guys to realize that you can do most things, okay? Now, tracking system, okay? You need a weekly review. Every week, review how you did. Did you hit your targets, your daily targets, right? What went well? What went bad? What could you have done better? These are very important because if you don't move your needles correctly, you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's nothing going to change, okay? Now, this one goes into the next one, the monthly adjustments. At the end of each month, take a bigger picture view of your progress. Are you close to your goals? What needs to shift? Hmm. Listen, write down how you're going to track all this, okay? I don't know if you have an Excel worksheet. My my clients in my program, we have an intensive worksheet where we go over everything. I would advise you get an Excel worksheet. I would advise you get something that you can see all the time. I like a daily tracker, right? Daily tracker, weekly tracker, monthly tracker. These tracking things. I know you may have not been tracking much things in your life. That's why sometimes it may take you to, entrust somebody. But this is at the end of the day, it's gonna be on you. Okay. If you're serious about this, you will need a system to keep you on course. All right. So if you're ready to take this seriously, I'm gonna create a version of this document here to put into it so you can start today. I know it is approaching the end of December. That means everybody's gonna have their New Year's resolution. Let's say revolution. Resolution. It is up to you if you want to make a change. It is up to you if you want to make a change. Only you can change your life. I mean that. Only you can change your life. I stayed all night creating this just so that you can have it before the New Year's, so you can actually implement for the next 3 months. What are you gonna do January, February, March? These are real questions. So if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, you have no way to figure out how to, create maybe an Excel or anything like that, uh, feel free to message me in the comments. I will be answering anything in the comments. But the year is bright. The future is bright if you choose so. The future is also dark if you choose so. But everything is a choice. But what I want you to do is decide what you want to do right now. Do you want to live the life that you've been living the last 6 months over and over and over again? Or do you want to become the best version of yourself, that ideal version of yourself where you see yourself in the mirror and be like, I am him? That is all for tonight. Have a wonderful night or morning, whenever time you're watching this. Ciao.